Okay, for Krista's mini, what do your guides need you to know right now? The Chrysalis Tarot. I'm getting this arcing shape, so that's what we're doing, and it feels like we've got the center segment of the rainbow, and it's pretty high up in the center. So you're not at the beginning or the end of anything just yet. You're right. You're in the thick of it. It's like there isn't going to be a clear, defined mark of a beginning or an end for you right now. It does feel like you don't know how long you have to do whatever it is you have to do. It's going to take you a while. All right. Okay. So what we've got going on down here, hopefully you can see, is this middle arc of the rainbow, but it almost feels like this is the keystone. If it was a building, this would be the keystone capstone area. This is the center. This is the big part to deal with, but let's see what's going on. Okay, we've got something about breakthrough, legacy, inheritance. This is something where the 10 of coins comes in, and this is legacy, 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 how you leave your mark, and a new beginning here. This is something very interesting. This is about resources and dealing with the resources, how you want to use them to move forward. Now, we think resources and we generally think money, particularly with the stones or the coins coming in. But this one is about resources, resources, resources. And sometimes with the resources, we need to consider time. You have the Ace of Spirals coming into the Ace of Wands. So you have the Ace of Coins and the Ace of Wands. There's something that's being asked for you to pay attention to how you do a new start. This is important for you. All right. So the new start energy is right here. We're going to move forward and see what else is coming up here. And then we'll go into the second deck for clarification. We've got this King of Stones showing that you do have support around you, friends, and support around you strongly. Something that you've done over and over and that you've built up. Now, this is one that usually is to do with family. This is usually to do with the masculine support. Sometimes this can be a friend that thinks more like a masculine way of thinking. I don't know how to describe that. I'm getting a little bit of a touch of the King of Swords coming through with this one. This is somebody that's pragmatic and a straight shooter coming at you. They want to support what's going forward and what you want to do going forward, but they aren't going to tell you what you need to do. They want you to know. In the middle, we've got the King of Wands coming up. Interesting. Interesting. We've got the King and the Aces of both of these. Both of these. Very interesting to see this. They want to support the new start, but you have to choose how you're going to do it. And it feels like you're needing to wait to tune in a little bit, to plumb the depths. To plumb the depths. There's something that you've forgotten. I want to go to the second deck right now. We're going to the same deck, second deck. Second deck. What is this that you need to remember? Your guides really want you to go ahead and go forward and start something new and know that you're strongly supported, but it needs to be your inspiration that you're carrying forward and you've forgotten something. Oh, okay, sweetie. All right, what we're seeing here is LP, the Star, and we're seeing the Sun coming in as well. Excuse me, the Temperance coming in. The Sunflower on the Temperance is telling you to be patient and allow things to grow, allow things to radiate. There is big time sun energy in this Temperance card, but there's patience that's required. Not just juggling and transmuting, but a little bit of patience. When you ask for things to grow with the sun, and particularly the sunflowers, they start out pretty small. It takes forever for them to get tall before the flower shoots open and shoots out. The Star says, don't lose hope. Have faith. Continue in your dream. Move forward, move forward, move forward. You've got two of the Celestials coming in here, plus Temperance. So you're trying to balance the hope that you perhaps want to have about a dream, and also balance this time of mystery where you let it unfold. Let your intuition unfold. Remember. I'm getting you need to remember how powerfully you can transmute, move, and shape and shift energy, how you can change the energy in a room. You need to understand the power that you have, and this is remember. There's been something that's taken a little bit of the wind out of your sails, so to speak. You are still the one that is steering. You're still the one in charge. You're still the one that needs to go forward and carry it forward, carry it forward. What's coming up down here next? This track so much. What's coming up down here next is the Divine Child, the Hierophant. You've been given the keys, the knowledge, the kingdom, Keys to the Kingdom and promotion come through with this. Usually this is the Pope card. You see this, but this has the Divine Child. This is the one that has the gift. You're ready to move forward. The Hierophant gives the keys to the new acolytes. The keys have been given. You already have the information, the gifts, the talents, the abilities to move it forward. There's really a big need for you to trust yourself a bit more coming in. Oh, sorry about that, guys. That's my son, and I am not taking the call right now. Sometimes I have my phone on do not disturb, but starred numbers and so forth, and so that's my son's ring. Now you know. But this is saying, remember who you are, remember the gifts you have, remember and don't doubt. 8 of Stones. This is the work. Now this is this is the part that you're probably not going to love. The work is you need to practice. You need to use your efforts in a consistent manner. And you do really, really well at that. But don't let the consistency bog you down. Do it to the point of mastery and then review. Not review because you need to criticize or look and like, oh, what did I do right on this particular thing, on this post or this entry or this notes that you did. No. Review it with a broader sense. So you aren't going to review item by item, line by line. You're going to review, okay, look back. Look back in the terms of 13s. I don't know what that's about. Look back in the terms of 13. So I would take that in like a 13-week segment. Or you know how you have the baker's dozen? If you get donuts, you get the baker's dozen and they put the 13th donut in. Look back for the bonuses coming in. I don't know what that's about, but this is what's coming in. The work, and the baker's dozen. Crazy that that's coming in. Then we have the High Priestess energy coming in and the Page of Spirals. So this is the Page of Wands, and it's called the Mind, but usually this one is the one that makes the big announcement, and nobody can miss when the Page of Wands comes making an announcement. Nobody can miss this. So this is big, and this is saying, let it unfold, let the mystery unfold, ask a smarter question, ask a deeper question, plumb the depths. Now what else are we getting? I want to see what's across the bottom for you here. Allow yourself to be in this segment of time. You know, sometimes when we kick off something like the beginning of the year, it's fabulous new year, and at the end of the year we have Christmas, and we've got these really well-defined markers of time. But this in-between segment about kills us, and we don't know how long we have to do it, and that about kills us. Allow yourself to be in the flow of the in-between. Okay. What we're seeing here, Ace of Swords coming up. This is 3 aces. This is a time for new starts. What we aren't seeing here is the Ace of Cups. This is not the time for overblown emotions. This is the aces that we're seeing all together. We've got the wands, the coins, the stones, and the swords here. The 8 of Scrolls. This is limited thinking that has to go. Again, don't be looking back in the way of critique. Look back in what's happened with the baker's dozen. What's the extra bonus perk that you've learned? And flow with it a bit. The 5 of Stones. Feeling left out, left behind. You're not on the outside looking in as much as you feel right now. It feels like there's raw edges, sharp feelings, sharp emotions, big emotions. Yes. But this is not on the outside as much as it feels. You have the Hierophant here honoring the Divine Child, and this one is usually the one that's outside the church. What you've had is a tower moment. Towers are not small things. As much as I love this, towers are not small things. Everything that you've known or lots of things that you've been comfortable with before have been blown to bits. Boom. A little bit of destruction to begin with something new, to create something new, to create something fantastic. This is huge. And then the 6 of Mirrors. This is the 6 of Cups. There's an aspect to this that gets overlooked when we talk about the 6 of Cups. And I have overlooked it too often. But when you see it in the traditional thing, you see the child that is bigger proportion-wise than what looks like almost an older woman or a mother, and she's been made small. It is almost like remembering, and the nostalgia of our early childhood years is important. But also, this is where some of the wounding comes in. This is where sometimes we need to have a sense of scale of what's going on. And this is nostalgia is great, but a sense of scale is important to know. There is a guarded time where we don't know better, so it's a little bit guarded in childhood as we're moving forward. And this, not always what we perceived in childhood was accurate. Most often it's not. It's a known what we want, but how we perceive the world around us, how we perceive the world around us isn't as accurate as what we're encountering now. One more, please. Hangman coming through. This is change the perspective. The wisdom is there. There's something to be untangled. Untangled. It's almost like a box full of tangled up Christmas lights, or when your knitting gets all in a tangled mess, that kind of thing. Something that needs to be untangled, a truth that needs to be found. It's if you take the moment to look back into the past, there is something that's tangled and it's misconstrued and misunderstood. You need to look through the eyes of another to see the perspective correctly in order to move forward. These are the things your guides want you to be aware of. And then when you choose what it is, the truth of how you want to move forward, then move forward. This is that Six of Cups card again. And this is saying untangle, untangle. This is the Hangman. The willing sacrifice. Sometimes we don't understand why we're in life getting some of the harder lessons and everybody else around seems to be getting maybe not the easy lessons, but it looks easier from the outside. Sometimes we don't understand why the lessons that we have, but you have something to untangle, something to discover. It's not something necessarily uproot. You don't have to uproot it, but you have to untangle the way you saw a certain thing. And the roles that were assigned are not the roles that are meant to be continued, carried going forward. The roles are meant to shift. That's what I've got. That feels very complete. Okay, now I think we've got a pinch for you also. So if that's right, then we'll take a look at that in just a second. Just a jiff. It makes sense? Good. I'm so glad that it does. So glad. All right. All right. Okay, so a pinch. You are so welcome. I'm glad it makes sense for you. I'm really glad. All right, we're going to go to the charms and see what's coming up in the charms for you. All right, and I'm getting the go deep message. So this is, we're going to go, I'm literally going in here deep. Okay, let's see what comes up. Okay. All right, we're going to flip this so you can see. Plumbing the depths. Yeah, go deep, go deep. We keep getting that message for you. So here, we have something about the friend coming in. This is the dog, the companion, the friend. And this is one that feels separated from the rest. The friend is separated. If we had the Fool card, the dog is coming through, but the dog isn't necessarily there. It's a sign from spirit. It's the spiritual aspect of things with the dog coming in. And this feels like the friend is there, the companion is there, but it feels like there's a separation going on. Now I'm going to show you this. I'm flipping it so you can see it. It's the same frontward as backwards pretty much, but it's the dog coming in. What we have here. We have the doe turned on its head. This is the deer turned on its head. And this is, what I'm getting is something to the effect of the wide-eyed way of looking at the world has been taken, lost, changed. Remembering with nostalgia with the things that you're attached to, and the doe in the world, the deer in the headlights look is something where you're frozen in time, but it's not asking for that. It's asking for this wide-eyed, doughy-eyed kind of way of looking at the world, that it needs to be shifted. There is something, what's coming through is something that almost like when you get a scar, the skin heals back a little bit stronger. If you've gotten a cut or a hurt and you get a scar, the skin heals back stronger, but there is a reminder there, and it feels like this wide-eyed, kind of innocent, naive way of looking at the world, or what you thought, and it feels very much the expectation. There's been a disappointment suffered that leaves you feeling scarred, and the mending needs to happen, and it's not wrong that this happened, even though you're having trouble accepting it. It's not wrong that this is going on, even though you want free of it. This is a lesson for you. It's like sometimes we get lessons in grieving and loss that are painful lessons. It doesn't mean we're not meant to have it. Nobody gets to go through on an easy skate pass for life. No, everybody has their lessons. Everybody has grief, sorrow, things that flat out hurt, things that feel sometimes lost or stolen. And it feels like you need to open up instead of having so much pressure. It's just pressure, 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 pressure. And it needs to be released. There needs to be more opening. The way of thinking, when it expands, allows for more flow to come through. When you let go of the expectations, or you realize that even if you had these expectations, you weren't dumb to think that they were what they were. You weren't dumb to expect life to go a little bit more fluidly. When something is taken, stolen, or lost, call it how you will, it creates a hurt, and it feels unjust, and it makes us angry, a little bit resentful and bitter. But when you realize that maybe there's the divine at work, and I know that sounds a little bit, maybe this is too religious for some, but trust the divine on this. There is purpose, there is reason, there is meaning, even though it feels like so unfair. Yeah. You are learning to understand this way of being held that is different than you've understood it before. This is change, this is growth, this is coming in. Let me show you more of these. But understand being held is coming through strongly for you. There's a way for you to bloom. The things that you want to dream of and the things that would carry you forward are different than what you expect. Double dragonflies on this. Look at this. Now we had to dig deep. And again, the companion, the double dragonflies, this is change. There was something on, and it was talking, oh my gosh, triple dragonflies. Triple dragonflies. You ought to be looking for these. Spirit is trying to guide you and help you understand whatever this is, so that you can deal with this. I don't know if you can see this so well, but holy cow, they're right here. Boom, boom, boom. Spirit is trying to guide you through this loss, through this change, through this transition. If this were in tarot land, this would be the death card. This is death and transformation, death and rebirth. This is huge. It makes me a little bit teary. There is gold to be found in allowing yourself to accept the change that has happened. The horn is coming through. Now this is also, if you want to reference this tarot wise, this would be judgment card, restoration, resurrection, all of that. Follow the call of your heart. Follow your true north. Don't let your mind get in the way. Understand the connections on the web. Understands the trickster connections on the web. This monkey is coming through, and it's not coming through as monkey mind. It's coming through as monkey trickster on the web. I'm not talking about the internet. I'm talking about the quantum field. There's going to be stuff going on. It's okay to ask for signs and look for signs and remembrances, again, of whatever this is. You're going to get messages coming through on the quantum, on the field. This is very, very interesting. 3 of these dragonflies. 3. 13's the death card. Yeah, that's right. We were looking in the ways of 13s. And we were talking about in that 13's like the baker's dozen, and thinking of that 13th thing as an extra bonus, not as something that's hard. When you're ready to let go and flow, there is new created that is empowering, that gives you strength, that adds to you. You will understand the reasoning of this in time, but you couldn't become who you are without some of these lessons. And the curriculum isn't just all about the way that this lesson would impact you. It's about how it would impact a whole, a unit, a structure. It's transformative for more than one, and it's big. This is huge. And this is what's coming in. You are still meant to pay attention to the quantum field. There's gold in that for you. There is something very, very allowing you to claim yourself in this when this happens. It has changed your way you look in the world. It's changed the way you feel in the world. It's stripped away the candy-coated sugar shell is what I'm getting. I'm getting the reference to an M&M, like when the sugar sweet shell is there and it protects the chocolate, but you can't really do anything. It's so it doesn't melt, but the chocolate is what's the sweet thing. The chocolate is what everybody really wants. The chocolate is what makes that so good. So it stripped away the shell, and a lot of pretense will fall, is what I'm getting. Anything else? Look for the playful trickster things that happen. These are going to be weird, oddball things. And if it reminds you of someone crossed over, pay attention, because the monkey is here playing trickster things, trickster games. And the companion card that comes in with Toto the dog, it looks like Toto the dog, right? Hopefully you can see that. But that is every bit the monkey. Every bit the same. So that's what I've got. That's complete. Okay. That's what I've got on that. Holy cow. Really, really gorgeous, gorgeous feeling. The triple dragonfly is blowing my mind. Yeah, that's what's going on. Dig deep. This is something that's a meant to be lesson, even though it's difficult. That was gorgeous and so validating. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. That's great. That's good. Yay. Yay. Good. And that was the charms read, guys. So that's what we're doing. Let me get some water. I need some water after that one. Holy cow. Holy cow. Yeah. Okay. I'm so spot on. You were speechless. Oh, good. Good. Glad it helps. Yeah. The universe will find a way to bring us the message, to bring through things that resonate, and we will know. We will remember. We will wake up. We will honor. We will reclaim, and we will move beyond what was the tricky stuff. I never heard you before. Like, damn, Angie. Yeah. Well, good. The list is clear. Okay. Well, we'll probably do a collective then next. So give me just 1 second and we will take a look at the collective. Ooh, the collective is feeling a little bit funky today. Okay. We're going into one of the Teeth Kicker decks, which is the Pulp Tarot for the collective. Wow. All right. I didn't think these cards are a little bit rare sometimes. Let's see what's going on. Oh. They're going into a more of like a Dick Tracy mode. This is detective mode for collective. That's what we're getting. So that's what we're doing. All right. Let's see what the cards have to say. Wow. A lot of pain. A lot of pain. A lot of torturous pain that's going on. The Emperor and the powers that be, they really are creating tricky circumstances for many of us. It leads to conflict and competition. And the Tower, I'm telling you, some of us have been feeling this Tower for a while. There is something going on in the collective that makes us grumpy is sugarcoating it. More than grumpy with each other. Intolerant is what I'm getting. Unyielding and judgmental and harsh towards each other. And it needs to be stopped. It doesn't mean that you have to put up with, you don't have to suffer the fools, but it's not your job to necessarily educate them either. Sometimes they have to learn the lesson the hard way. Like if somebody needs to run into the brick wall to learn, hey, running into that brick wall is going to hurt. That's what it feels like is going on. And we are not the ones that need to run into it. This one wants to charge ahead and like run in, screeching. This guy's going to crash his car is the energy here. Like if you're going to act all crazy with your hot rod going crazy, you're going to have a moment that's going to suck. Sword of Truth comes in afterwards. This one is usually the reckless one, and this one is the one usually trying to rein it in. And it feels like they are in reverse. The intensity here is going to be here for a little while going on. What else? I'm getting the passion and the pain that needs to come through on this. The passion and the pain is like sometimes people feel very, very passionate about their sense of being right about something. Really, really right. I know I'm right. I know I'm right. I know I'm right. And then all of a sudden, well, a slice of humble pie gets served up and it hits them and it's like, oh, I was so wrong. I'm so sorry. Sometimes it's I was so wrong and they can't get to the I'm sorry. And it feels like sit back. People are going to get served some pie. That's what I'm getting. The truth is going to be as plain as the glasses, the nose on my face. The truth will be that plain for everyone to see the chaos, the crazy, the, oh, let's just run forward. Let's argue. Let's fight. No. Once the tower has been struck and the tower is like, if a tower gets knocked over and down, you can't say, oh, that tower that we built was fantastic. It looks so good. When it's down, it's down. It's undeniably down. The bolt out of the blue, the nonsense that happens, and then People that are, and I'm getting puffed up, ego, ego, ego. All this ego, when it gets shot down, boom. It is as clear as if like an earthquake happens and obliterates a building. This is what's happening. And this is what's going on. It doesn't mean everybody's ready to get out of the rubble just yet. They're just not. What's going on here? The star is coming through pretty strong. The hope is there, but there's a delay on some of this. Some of us are not so patient about the others. And it's time to be patient, time to be patient. This is a card that means mastery of something. But if you're only painting the same thing over and over and not painting what's right in front of you, something is a little off. And in this deck, I know that there's one reader that calls it a con because you've got the model right here. I'm showing it carefully. And then you have all of these coins. And it's because the con has happened. This guy's acting like he's painting the girl when really he's just doing the same thing over and over. There's something going on. There's a con. So the star, the hope has been delayed because the con needs to be exposed. And then the justice needs to come in. And it feels like, and this one is like 1970s. Boom. Justice coming in. What else do we need to know? This truth, do not be reckless. These knights need to shift their roles a little bit. When this one has so much fire and overheating, he needs to rein it in, usually reins it in, but he's running around roughshod and reckless. This one is usually the one that runs reckless with the truth, and he needs to rein it in. They have been reversed. They need to work together. The fire and air work together. When they work together, they don't necessarily need to consume everything. They can be controlled, contained, and create something better. There needs to be a balancing of these. Six of Swords and Seven of Pentacles. Leaving the rough waters for the smooth. This is going to be like an overheated season. It feels like overheated summer to me. And it feels like towards the end of July, it calms down. And this is where it's coming in. Harvest season, end of July, August, and September. This is when the fruits of labor are coming in a different way. And leaving the rough waters for smooth, a lot of us have already left. Some of them still trying to create chaos. Still trying to think, oh, that tower is fabulous. No. It's like, listen, little troublemakers, your day is done, whatever that's about. 8 of Wands, 2 months. So we're at the beginning of June. Yeah, July, August, things are shifting. Things are shifting. Things are shifting. They're getting lined up. They're getting set up. And there is something that's coming that's going to change. What else do we need to know on the personal level? I'm going to get the same deck, second deck. Same deck, second deck on the personal level. What do we need to know? Just to navigate this, it feels like, yeah, trying to zipper in, like when you zipper into traffic to merge traffic. There's a way of doing it more carefully. Okay, all right. Okay, flipping this down so we can see what's going on here. What we see here is the moon. There is a period of time where intuition needs to be leaned into, but there's a lot of batshit crazy going on. The 10 of Pentacles and turned on its head. The people thinking of legacy, they're more thinking of acquisition than legacy, and legacy needs to be what we think of. Legacy, how we leave our mark, what we do that's simple and down to earth. This is having the head in the clouds and trying to do everything. No, choose something for us. What we need to do is follow the intuition. For us, how do we leave our mark, and what do we want to choose to focus on? What do we want to choose, and where do we put our emotional energy is huge for us right now. There is a period of waiting coming in. This 3 of Wands, waiting for the ships to come in, waiting for change to happen, and the willing sacrifice here. This entanglement, this tied upness, this being, upside down in the world. Sometimes it feels like the whole world itself is upside down, but it's going to take a little bit to disentangle this in order for us to move forward. On the personal level, choose what it is. Don't have your head in the clouds all the time. Choose what it is you can focus on. What can you do in this day? What can you handle in just this day? What can you get squared away in just this day to take care of, to make yourself feel like, okay, this is how I want to leave my mark. This is important to me. This is the intuitive thing. This is the gift I need to share, or this is the thing I need to honor. It's what can I do in this day? It really bring it back to what you can do and do what you can when you can. And now it's time to do something for yourself. Honor what it is that is your dream. Don't get too over pie in the sky about it. And don't get all this overheated energy that's underneath it doesn't serve. Neither does Fantasyland. You got to get a little pragmatic about what's going on. In order to leave a legacy, you can't just have it be driven by emotions and fantasy all the time. Got to get a little pragmatic. That's what I've got. That's what's coming in. So, yeah, and that's the Pope Tarot. Very, very interesting and different kind of a deck. And yeah, very, very, it's meant for us to discover, to uncover, and to recover. If somebody is in recovery, if somebody's reclaiming, this is what's going on. This is a reclaiming of what it is by slowing things down. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but that's what's going on. And it's huge important. All right. So let me just get a little bit of water and we'll see what's going on. And I don't know if there's anybody else on the list or not right now, but we'll see. We'll see what's happening. Get some water and keep on going. Yeah, if you think about it on the global scale, how crazy things are. I'm in Utah in the States, but it's kind of crazy here in the States right now. But if you let all of that get out of the way and you figure, what is it that I can do in my day? What do I have control of? What can I choose to focus on? That's a saner way to go about things. So that's what I got. List is clear. Okay. Well, maybe we'll take a break. Maybe we'll just take a little bit of a break and maybe I'll come on a little bit later. I don't know. We'll think on that. I'm usually on Mondays and Wednesdays at 11, and the energy has been kind of fickle and strange, so it doesn't surprise me that things are a little bit strange. I know people are also having a little bit of weirdness happening with their accounts, different creators and so forth, so that's all right too. That's all right. It's not a problem if that's, if it's, I'm okay with a slow day. Sometimes slow days are what we need to do. So that's what's going on. Anything else? Okay. Woo. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Thank you. So if you have any other questions or whatever that are like just a general about tarot or whatever, about cards, I can chit chat for a little while. If you want to get on the paid list, that's great. If not, if we need to just take a break, we can take a break and go out and be in the world and away from our phones a little bit if we need to do that. That's all right too. Do I still offer classes? Yeah, I still do my classes, and they're $100. They're the Tarot 101, and what I do is send you about 13 links. I think I had something about them before. It's on my YouTube, and I still offer the classes. It's $101. You can send me an email to angiedoesclasses@gmail.com. Super tricky, but they are fun, and you're talking tarot in no time. It's like 13 videos, and what you see is what you get with me. Maybe in the classes, I probably am a little bit not as fluffy. I'm a little bit lighter weight, but it's like it helps you understand how to play with the cards, see the cards, and talk with them. The private reads I do, if you want to do a Zoom call, that's $99 for an hour, and then we just go all over, off-roading on all the cards. So all the cards, we do those. Or if you want to ask 3 questions, this is like the Screamin' deal. 3 questions, and I'll do a recording for you of the questions that you've asked, and send you the video link for you, and that's $66 if you just want 3 questions. Boom. If you want to do face-to-face Zoom, that's $100, or the classes are $100. So that's what I got going on. Anything else going on? Not a ton, but yeah, we can see what else is going on with you guys, or whatever. I'm not too worried. So I know it's kind of weird energy that people are transitioning through and moving through, and it's like, all right, okay. So I think what I'll do is probably go get some lunch or whatever for now, and maybe I'll come back on a little later today or not. I don't know. I'll think on it. And for sure, I'll be back on Wednesday at 11. So that's my plan. I am not doing a private full read. If you want to do Zoom reading, that's the private full read I think you're talking about. If you want an hour, if you wanted to do like a half-hour session, a half hour, I'd charge half that price if you wanted to do Zoom. But yeah, and the private read that I do, that's the 3 questions, it's as many cards as it takes to go on that, and that's $66 for the 3 questions. Or if you want to do like a private Zoom for a half hour, it would be half of that, so it'd be like $50. So people can contact and reach out and see what's going on. But if they want to do like the Zoom for an hour, then I charge $99 for that. So that's what's going on, guys. That's what's going on. All right. Well, I think that probably since it's just us chickens in here, I might just grab a sandwich and call it good for today. So thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate you being here. I love that I get to come on and do this, but some days it's just like kind of slow. It's like, all right, we'll let the energy shift a little bit. Go do something else and then come back and see what's going on a little later and like that. So that's what's going on. You are so, so welcome. I will see you guys later, okay? Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.